Namaste. Welcome to this class, which is going to use chairs as a prop for our yoga. The theme of the class today is celebrating difference. It's so connected with yoga, this idea that we are all unique. We all have different shaped bodies. We all have different sized bodies. We have different abilities, flexibility, bone structure, let alone what's going on the inside. So we are all different, and let's just embrace that idea. So as an experiment, I'd like you to open your hearts and minds and see how you find this class today. So we will be working with familiar asanas, postures, in different ways, using the chair, not just to make things easier, that's not what chair yoga is all about, but to explore the postures, and you might discover something that you can then take into your practice without the chair that you wouldn't have found without this prop. So we're going to do some challenging things as well. So let's come to sitting on your chair. If your feet are floating off the ground, you might want to put blocks or a cushion or something under your feet. It's just nice to have connection with the ground now at the beginning and also towards the end of the class. That will be useful. And then decide where you want to put your hands, whether you have them face up in your lap or whether you want them palm down on your thighs, and allow the eyes to close. Allow the shoulders to relax. Keep a nice upright spine. If you're against the back of the chair, I'd invite you just to wriggle forward slightly so that you're self-supporting and you've still got that lovely alertness in the body. So concentrating now on the breath, taking some lovely deep inhales and releasing the exhales, and noticing how you're feeling in yourself, your energy, also about the class ahead. And we're going to keep an eye on that throughout the class, just our tendency to judge whether things are good or bad, whether we like them or don't like them. Just go with the flow if you can today. Good. So we'll start with some cat-cow stretches on the chair. So bringing your hands onto the thighs near the knees and taking an inhale. On an exhale, I want you to drop your chin down towards the chest and allow the back to round. And again, if that's making contact with the chair a bit too easily, you might have to come forward a little more. And then we're going to inhale, tilt the pelvis forward, lift the heart, lift the gaze up. And then flow through those two postures. So the exhale, we're rounding the back into a cat stretch, dropping the head. The inhale, we're tilting the pelvis forward, lifting the heart, lifting the head. And see how it feels. Doing this on a chair, you might be more aware of the contact of the sit bones, the bottom of the pelvis, as it rocks back and forth on the seat of the chair. So noticing that feeling. Good. And then bringing that to stillness. Let's take the fingertips onto the shoulders, circle the elbows, making nice big movements one way and then the other way. Good. We're going to stretch out our shoulders. So again, hands start on the thighs. I want you to take your left hand out on an inhale, out to the side, and on an exhale, sweep it across the body and catch it in the crook of the right arm. And you control the intensity of the stretch on the shoulder. You can reach the arm a little further across. You can draw the arm towards you. And you can lift it up. All of those things are going to increase the stretch. So if it's uncomfortable, you draw back a little and you work at your level. Just seeing how this feels today in the shoulder. Breathing in, breathing out. Good. And then I want you to take this left hand down to your thigh or the side of the chair, unravel the right hand and bring that to the back of the seat of your chair. So your hands are at the side of your body, the side of the chair. On an inhale, we're going to lengthen up and take this into a little twist. So on the exhale, you're trying to turn away from this left hip, turning to the side, unwinding on the inhale, lengthening up through the spine again, twisting on the exhale. Do that one more time, nice deep breaths. So we're using the chair not to crank us round too far into our twist, just as a guide to see how this twist feels. And then inhaling all the way to the front. And we'll do that the other way round. So inhale as the right hand comes out this time. Exhale as it's drawn across the body, catch it with the left arm and spend a few breaths here. And let the fingers be alive. So it's not floppy hands. We're thinking about the energy coming out through the arms, breathing into any strong sensations around the shoulder, deciding whether we want to increase or decrease the intensity of the stretch. Good. And then again, dropping the gaze, bringing the right hand to the front of the chair or the side of the leg, the left hand to the back of the chair. And we inhale, a nice tall spine, and exhale into a twist. 2 more deep breaths so we can unwind and lengthen. Exhale as we turn away from that right hip, trying to anchor the right hip and turn away from it. One more time. And inhale back around to the front. Good. And come to standing. And I want you to come behind your chair. Hopefully it's a reasonable height on the back so that you can rest your hands. You can either hold the chair or just rest your palms flat on the back of the chair. And we're going to use this to try and keep a nice flat back. So I want you to walk a little way away from the chair, just so that the arms are relaxed and straight. So you're not really reaching and stretching to get to the chair. They're comfortably relaxed and straight, with you bent at a 90-degree angle, feet under the hips. We're going to take cat-cow in this position and see how it feels here. So we'll inhale to start. Exhale, round the back, drop the head, pushing into the back of the chair if you like. Inhale, bend the knees, tilt those hips, lift the heart, lift the head. Okay, and use the back of the chair as a guide to press into. So we're keeping the arms protracted as we move through these 2 different poses, just as we should be doing on the ground, but it might feel different. You might discover a different feeling doing this in a different way. One more time. And then I want you to come into a downward facing dog, which means you need to walk the feet back a little further still. So now your tips of your fingers are on the back of the chair and your back is as long as you can make it. So the arms are stretched. There's a sense of reaching forward and the hips really reaching back. So just like we do when we first come into our down dog on the floor, bend the knees, get that little tilt in the pelvis and really reach those sit bones back and up. You want the ears to be sort of between the upper arms, the neck to be nice and relaxed. And as we take some breaths here, I want you to think melt the heart towards the floor. And you can pedal the legs if you want to, lifting one heel, bending the knee, and then the other. And you can also bend the knees And then exhale, drawing the heels back to the floor. If you can't get your heels to the floor normally in down dog, walk the feet in a little bit, because there will be a place here where you can have those heels on the floor and feel the sensation of the long back with those heels on the floor. So enjoy that if that doesn't come easily to you in our floor-based downward facing dog. And then bending the knees a little bit, walking forwards towards the chair, standing behind the chair with sort of at least a foot distance between you and the chair. So there's a little bit of a gap between your thighs and the chair. And we're going to explore a sun salutation using the chair. So similar moves to what we normally do, but we've got the chair here as a prop. Again, make the most of it. Any postures that you don't find come easily or are tricky, then you might discover something with the chair, especially the bit where we step forward, because that's a lot easier. So here we go with our sun salutation. Bring your hands to your heart. On an inhale, lift the arms up. On the exhale, the hands come down to the heart again and find the chair. So let them rest on the chair as you bow your head and round the back into a really gentle forward fold with the knees bent. So it's a soft, gentle forward fold. Then we're going to take a big stride back with the right foot, just like you would normally. Go long into a lunge. The left knee is bent, the left ankle is under the knee. Good. And then we're going to step the left foot back, so we're in that downward facing dog again. Nice long spine. I'm going to bend the knees, lift the heart on the inhale. So this is kind of like our cow pose that we've been doing on the floor. And then from cow pose, we go back to child, but in this case, we're going to step forward, just about halfway towards your chair, ready to come into cobra. This is a bit I really don't want you slipping forwards on your chair. So just a little test that the chair can take the weight, and leaning the hips into the chair, lift the heart, roll the shoulders back, just like you would in cobra. And then exhale, taking the hips back, step all the way back to downward facing dog. So nice, flat, long back. Inhale, we're going to step the right foot back into a lunge. You might need to lengthen your lunge a little bit. So maybe the left foot steps back to get that feeling of length in your lunge. And then exhale as we step up to the chair and take a bow, bend the knees a little. Press down into the floor, inhale, lift the arms up. And exhale, bring them back to your heart space. Take a breath there into Tadasana. I'm going to turn my chair to the side. You shouldn't need to change the position of your chair around as much as I'm going to, but just to make it easier for you to see what I'm doing. We'll do that all on the other side. So bringing the hands to the heart, we're going to inhale, reach up. Exhale, folding down. So taking a gentle forward fold, bowing down over the chair. And then inhale, this time it will be the left foot. Steps back long into a lunge. Okay, and make the most of being able to lift the heart, lift the head with having the support of the chair here. We can make this quite upright. Tuck the tailbone under, don't stress that lumbar spine. Good, and then step back to downward facing dog. Nice long spine here. You can bend and straighten the knees if you want to. And then a deep knee bend for cow pose. Lift the heart, lift the head. Good. And then a little step forward. Rounding the back. Imagine this is like our child pose that we normally do. Then cobra. So if you're happy to, leaning forward. If you don't want to lean forward, then take it as a standing back bend. We're opening the front of the body, rolling the shoulders back, and then stepping back again to our downward facing dog. Nice and long, tips of the fingers on the back of the chair. The left foot is going to step forward and you're in a lunge. Good. Told you the stepping forward bit was easier. And then we join the right foot and we're in a bow. Soften the knees, let the head be long. Press down into the feet, lift the arms up. And exhale, hands come down to the heart. And then bring the hands into Tadasana, so staying where you are, but coming into a mountain pose and observe. So notice how the body feels, how it's worked in different ways, and also any chatter in the mind. Just be watchful of that. There might be some strong preferences coming up during this class. It's quite deliberate. Just make sure that you challenge them and accept what's going on. Lovely. And then we're going to try some balances. So it might be the case that you always want to come to the wall or have a chair nearby. I'm always offering that option. Today we're all going to do tree pose and warrior three with a chair, just so that we can see how it feels to have that support nearby. So you want to turn yourself to the right, I think, so that your left leg and your left hand are next to the chair. We're going to start by standing on our left leg as usual. So if you press into the left foot and balance the right toes near it, if you don't usually allow that knee to go out to the side and back, maybe with the support of the chair, you'll be a bit more confident about that, having a nice open front of the body. If you want to take your foot onto the leg and you think, well, I always try and have it higher, but I feel really wobbly and unstable, maybe today is the time to try it a little higher up. If it ends up pressing on the knee, that's, you know, not what we want, so keep it lower down. But maybe give this a go. You still need your focus in exactly the same way as we normally do, and you still need to decide what to do with your hands. So options are to take the right hand to the heart or up in the air. Maybe if you don't normally feel balanced enough to do that, feel how that feels to have the opening in the side of the body. And then it's up to you to play with the other hand. You could take it off of the chair, knowing the chair's there. If you have a wobble, you can touch the chair. Sometimes just knowing that option is there makes it easier. Well done. Keep the focus. So maybe you'll be a little braver with your choices. Again, let's see how different your tree can be. Keep the breath going. Unclench the jaw. Smiling is optional. Couple more breaths if you can. See if you can challenge yourself. When you do come out, good, on an exhale, let the foot come gently down to the floor and spend a moment there before we do the other side, observing, is that different to how you would usually experience tree pose? Not better or worse or good or bad, just different. And then we're going to swap it around. So you just have to turn. I'm just going to put my chair over the other side so that you can see me. Good. Okay, so same thing. Let's set ourselves up. So we're now pressing down into our right foot. The right hand is on the chair, and have a little play with where you want to place the foot. Maybe it's in the same place as usual, but you feel more steady. Maybe you want to try something different. And think about this opening across the front of the pelvis. That left knee wants to be going backwards effectively. This is when we've got our balance, okay? So this is an additional thing. Don't make it your priority. And then deciding where the hands want to go. So you can keep one hand resting on the chair as much as you want to during this practice. Maybe the hands come to the heart. Maybe one hand extends up, and then if you feel confident, the other one might join it, it might not. You could tease the fingers off the chair so that they're just millimeters off it if you want to. Can you relax the shoulders so the leg is strong, but the upper body wants to be soft? Keep the breath long and smooth. 2 or 3 more deep breaths if you can. Pressing down into the standing foot, reaching up tall, and then coming out when you're ready to. And again, just noticing how that was for you. Good. So our Warrior 3 posture, we've looked at in 2 different ways. One from the floor using blocks and working up from the floor. And one from standing, which I usually do, and leaning forward. So Warrior 3 is the one where we're on one leg and we tilt ourselves forward. Well, there's 2 ways to use the chair. You can use them just as we did with the blocks, working from the chair and lifting your leg up behind you, or knowing that the chair is there, you can try the standing version and tilt towards it. So just test the distance so that you know you're going to meet the chair with your hands, and maybe you try lifting the arms up overhead, which is normally more challenging on the balance, but knowing you've got the chair to land on if you want to, maybe that'll give you the confidence to come a little lower. So you work into this pose however you choose. You're either starting from the chair or aiming towards the chair. Left leg first, so balancing on the left foot. Taking the right foot back and making sure the toes point towards the ground. You've got energy all through the body. So the main thing in this posture is to keep a rod of energy from the back foot, the back heel, out through the crown of the head. You decide where the hands go, but take this opportunity of having the chair and maybe do something a little different with the pose. Tiny micro bends in the standing leg. Make those muscles work. And if you're touching the chair, explore floating just above it. Taking the hands off, knowing it's there if you need it. When you're ready, let it be an inhale to rise back up to standing and place the foot down. And think of this length in the body. Try it on the other side. We want to keep this lovely long rod all through the body. That's the important thing. So you can step the left toes back now as you're balancing on the right foot, either starting upright or at the chair, and working into your Warrior 3 balance. Think, are my hips square? You've got the chair, so you can notice if you're lifting your hips, you can have a play without worrying that you're going to fall over. Think, is that square? You can look today. Is my hip lifted? And then come into the posture. You normally need quite an internal rotation of the thigh of the lifted leg. It feels to me like it's a bit pigeon-toed, and that normally means it's pointing down to the floor nicely. So tempting to have the toes pointing out to the side to help the balance, but it's not what we want. Breathing into any challenge. Rising up again when you want to. No rush. Good. So I hope that was a different and interesting way to explore that posture, which can be challenging, but maybe we took away some of the challenge of the balance using the chair. Next, we're going to look at triangle pose. So I want you to spin it round. We're going to work with the feet this bit. Okay, let's come into triangle pose then. Nice wide stride, right toes pointing towards the seat of your chair now. Let's inhale, take the arms up shoulder height. Exhale, bend the knee for warrior two, first of all. This is a good way to check if your feet are the right distance apart. Now, my knee is coming too far over my foot. I need to widen my stance. You want the knee over the ankle. Let's see if you can drop a little lower with your warriors. Well done. And then we're going to reach towards the seat of our chair with our triangle. So I want you to inhale, straighten the front leg. Dip the hips back a little. Exhale, reach towards your chair. Let the hand come down onto the chair and put your left hand on your hip. And with the support of the chair there, again, helping your balance, I really want you to work today on rolling this top shoulder back, opening up the front of the body, as though you've got a wall behind you that you're trying to peel yourself back onto. And if you normally feel wobbly in triangle pose and you don't want to look up, maybe today is the time to try that. If that's not good on your neck, as always, you can look sideways or down. And then if this shoulder feels comfortable pointing up to the ceiling, lift that top arm up and see if you can work in your triangle pose, really pushing into the legs, reaching up through the fingers and out the crown of the head. Of course, if this isn't comfortable, you stay with the hands on the hip. Good. You can always bend the knee and then straighten that front leg again. Staying here longer than maybe we sometimes do. Nice big inhale to finish. As you exhale, bring both hands to the chair. So you're turning to face the chair now, and I want you to hop the back foot in a little. Ready for pyramid pose, the one where we bow down over that front leg. Okay, so hands are on the front of the chair. Bend that front knee. Inhale there. As you exhale, really draw the right hip back and bow down. Your head might come towards the chair. It might go down lower than the chair. It doesn't matter. Inhale, bend that front knee again, lift up. Get length in the spine and try and keep that nice long back as long as you can. As you exhale, you're drawing the hips back, bowing down towards the leg. Respectful of your hamstrings and how much stretch you're putting into the leg. One more time, coming up, bending the knee. Exhale, drawing the hips back, concentrating on the right hip because that will want to stay further forward. And then bend the knee. We're going to explore revolved triangle. Okay, this is a challenging twist. So you can come into the first part of it and not go any further if you want to. Keep that front knee bent for a minute. We've got hands on the seat of the chair, and we're going to keep the left palm in the middle of the chair. Take the right hand onto the right hip. And then inhale, looking at the chair, lengthen through the spine. As you exhale, still with that bent front knee, see if you can rotate towards the front leg. So we're turning to the side. Instead of the body being open, it's now in a twist. If that's not comfortable, you stay facing the chair. Otherwise, we're now trying to get this right shoulder back and up as far as we can. If that feels comfortable, if that's the right word, lift the top arm up. See if you can straighten that front leg. Okay, this is a challenging posture and one I'm not particularly comfortable doing on floor level, but with the chair, it assists you getting into it. Like anything, you can come out of it a little, bending the knee, bending the elbow, and then explore it again. So have one more breath here, whichever form that you found. And then as you exhale, bring both hands down to the seat of the chair. Get hold of the chair so you're nice and supported. Step towards the chair into a forward fold. So bend the knees, bow the head. When you're ready to, press down into the feet and roll yourself slowly up. Take a few breaths. Notice how the body feels. So that posture might have been very different to what you've done before. Check in with the body. That was a good wringing out of the spine there. I'm going to do it on the other side. So being mindful all the time where your limits are, where your edge is, using the chair today to explore those boundaries in a different way. Good. Okay, so let's turn the other way. I'm going to be cheeky and turn my back to you. So you're turning now so that your left toes are pointing at the chair, adjusting your right foot, ready to come into warrior two. So hands come to shoulder height, inhale, exhale, bend that front knee and see how low you can drop into your warrior. Dropping those hips down on the exhale. Shoulders drop away from the ears. And then we're going to turn it into triangle pose. Inhale, straightening the front leg, dipping the hips, and then reaching towards the chair, then down, and letting the hand land on the seat of the chair, taking the right hand onto the hip, and then seeing what you can do to take this top shoulder back. I like to imagine there's a pane of glass behind me, and as much of my body as possible is touching that glass, pressing against the glass. You can lift the top hand or not, up to you, and think about how far your body is extending into space in all directions. So the feet really push into the floor. That lifts you up. The arm reaches up, or the shoulder and elbow lift up if you've got your hands on your hip. The crown of the head reaches away, so the spine is really long. Take some deep breaths here. And on an exhale, bring both hands to the chair. Turn your hips now towards the front of your mat, towards the front of the chair, and hop in that back foot, ready for our pyramid pose. Let that front knee bend. And really lift the chest, lengthen the spine on the inhale. And exhale, draw that left hip back, take a bow over your leg. Okay, go easy with this first bow, just seeing how the land lies. And then bending the knee, rising up, inhaling. Exhale, drawing the hips back, bow it down. One more time. So you release the knee, coming out of the pose, and then you draw the hips back, keeping the back nice and long, your deepest bow for today. And then bending the knee, let's think about coming into our revolved triangle on this side. This time, it's going to be the right hand stays in the middle of your chair. The left hand comes to the left hip. Good. Lengthen the spine on an inhale and turn as best you can to the side on the exhale. It might be different one side to the other, so don't worry if you can't twist very far. You can keep the torso facing towards the chair if you want to. Okay, straighten the leg, that front leg, and if you want to, lift the top arm. Yeah, see what's better for you. Sometimes it's better to keep the hands on the hip and stay balanced and in the pose, rather than trying the fuller posture and losing the integrity of the pose. Well done. Nice big breath when you're ready to finish. Exhale, bringing the hands down to the chair, stepping towards it into a nice forward fold, really gentle, and coming up to standing taking a couple of breaths into Tadasana once again. See, who said chair yoga was easy? We can make it challenging. We can always squeeze the juice out of whatever posture we're exploring. No such thing as easy poses, just how we approach them, what we do with them. I'd like to come into a wide-legged forward fold now. If you like the wide-legged forward fold and you're often quite low in it anyway, then you might find that you want to come away from the chair, but give it a go onto the chair to start with, and you might want a block. It doesn't matter if you haven't got a block, but you might want a block either on the chair or on the floor. So wide-legged forward fold. Today we're going to take the feet either side of your mat, so they're off of the mat, and we're bowing still towards the seat of the chair. And just have a little test. You want to be able to bend forward and bring your forehead to the chair. And like I say, if you find that super easy, nothing much is happening in the body, then take a couple of steps back so that your head is going to come in front of the chair. But it's quite soothing to rest your head on the chair. Maybe give it a go anyway. So outside of the feet are parallel, pointing towards the chair, nice and tall. You can take a big breath in here. Hinge forward at the hips, keep that long spine, bend the knees if you need to rather than rounding the back, and bringing the head and the hands onto the chair. And you can stay here for a few breaths, lengthening through the spine, lifting the hips back behind you. Or if you want to go further, then bend the knees, shimmy the feet back a little. You can still keep your hands on the chair. Inhale, long spine, and then exhale, bending forward a little more. So you can hold onto the chair here if you want to. If you're scared of toppling forward, maybe in a wide-legged forward fold, then this is a good option for you. Maybe the block is on the floor for you to bring your head down onto. Maybe you widen the feet apart and you don't need the block, and you bring the crown of your head onto the floor. You can bend the knees and straighten the legs, working in and out of this forward fold, just like we do in our usual standing forward fold when the feet are closer together. You can sway the hips from side to side if you like. So when you're ready to come up, we're going to use the chair. So if the hands aren't already on the chair, bringing the hands onto the chair for support, bend the knees, inhale, long spines, come up, good, and exhale, step the feet together. Great stuff. Okay, I think it's time for us to turn the chair around again. So I want you to turn the chair towards the front of the mat so that the seat faces forward and you can come and sit on the chair. Grab your strap on your way. So you've got your yoga belt or belt off your dressing gown, ready for some shoulder stretches. Again, resist leaning back on the chair. We tend to start getting a little bit too comfortable. So you're going to need a little bit of space behind you for this. And we'll do our shoulder stretches and then explore cow face pose in a different way to what you ever have before, if you've ever tried it. So strap is a bit wider than the shoulders. And we're going to inhale, lift it up. Exhale, bring it behind our head. And this helps open the heart. We want to move the hands away from each other. So there's a bit of tension in the strap, get those muscles working. And imagine that you've got weights on this belt. So it's like a big weightlifter's weight. So it's not just effortless holding the strap here, you're working. And then inhale up, exhale down. What I want you to be aware of is if when you come into these poses, you arch the back. We don't want that. So we don't want this sort of thing. I want you to think, keep the tummy tucked, tailbone down, neck long, chin tucked. So none of this. Now we're going to try it and see if we can increase the stretch. So let's inhale up, exhale to the point where it's comfortable. And then with some work going on, tension in the strap, allow the strap to slip through your hands little by little till you get to that biting point where it's a real squeeze between the shoulder blades. Good. And then just when you think it's not going to go, you go past it. Okay. Now you've got the strap at the right width, the right distance between the hand. Let's go back up to that point, stay for a couple of breaths. So really getting a good stretch across the shoulders. When you're ready, lifting up and releasing the strap in front of you. Good. Now, cow face pose, for anyone who's done it before, it's the one where we link the hands behind the back. So goody, we've got our strap. And you also wrap your feet around your hips. Okay, so we don't need to do that. We're sat on a chair. So you can take your right leg over the left, and we're going to cross our legs. Even if that's uncomfortable for you, there's no need to do it. You sit normally on the chair if you don't like that. Okay, it's the shoulders we're working really. So I want you to take the strap in your left hand, and if you've got any belt buckles or D-rings on the end, make sure there's the hand end so that they're not going to whack you round the head by accident. And then lift that left hand up and drop the belt over the back of your shoulder. Bend that top elbow and bring the left hand to rest gently on it. And we're not heaving it back, but you're encouraging that elbow up and the hand down a little bit. And again, draw the tummy in and up, tuck the chin a little. It's really easy to overarch the back in this posture. When you're ready, inhale, the right hand comes out to the side, the thumb turns down, you bend the elbow and you grab hold of your strap. I'll just turn around so you can see. So you find the strap, doesn't matter if it's down low or up high. And we work from where you are. So inhale, lift the top elbow. Exhale, pull down on the strap gently. And then you might find there's more slack to creep that bottom hand up the strap. Doesn't matter if there's not. Again, inhale the top elbow. Exhale, draw the strap and that top hand down. So you might now meet fingers. You might be able to clasp in a monkey grip. You might be a foot apart. Doesn't matter. One more time. The elbows now in opposite directions. Inhale, lift the top elbow, draw the bottom elbow down, and then exhale, release. That's a good shoulder stretch. Okay, so I hope you're still with me and all right. Have a little roll of the shoulders. Good, and we do it on the other side. So uncross your legs, take the left thigh over the top of the right one. This time the belt's going to be in the right hand. Again, check any nasty buckles, anything heavy is in the hand end, not in the loose end, and drop it over the back of your shoulder. Right elbow is up to the sky. Left hand rests on the elbow. It's gently encouraging it up and back. It's not forcing it up, but it's really easy to keep the elbow pointing forward without even being aware of it in this posture. Draw the tummy in, tuck the chin. Good. And then we'll sweep the left arm out to the side, inhaling, rotate it. So thumb faces down, palm is away from you. Find the strap behind the back. Good. And then we'll work there. Inhale, lifting the top arm. Exhale, drawing the strap down, trying to take that bottom elbow down and creeping the bottom hand up the strap if it wants to. And again, inhale, lift the top elbow up, draw the strap down, creep the hand up. It might be a millimeter, doesn't matter. Might think, I'm going to release it a little bit. And then last time, lifting the elbows away from each other, getting that opening across the chest. And then release. Roll the shoulders. Place the strap to one side. We won't need that again. Uncross the legs. Bring the hands onto the thighs. I want you to take a nice big inhale. As we exhale, slide the hands down the legs. Let the belly rest on the thighs and come into a forward fold. So the head relaxes forward, the neck is long. Let there be length and space in the back of the body. And as we breathe easy here. Good stuff. And then use your hands to walk back up the legs. Let the head come up last, coming up right once more. Good. And we're going to take one more twist before we relax, okay? Only if this is okay for you. So before we did our twist with the knees facing forward on the chair and we twisted to the side, now I'd like you to take your knees to the left so that you're turning to the side of your chair and you've got the back of your chair to your left-hand side, okay? I want you to draw the torso up nice and tall. Lift the arms on an inhale. Exhale, turn the body so you're looking at the back of the chair and bring the hands onto the top of the back of the chair. And again, resist the temptation to crank yourself round too far, but do 2 more inhale, exhales here, lengthening up through the spine and turning away from this right hip. So you're turning to look over the back of your chair, possibly looking over your left shoulder, so spiraling all the way around. One more inhale, exhale. And then as you unravel, lifting the arms, bringing them back down, come all the way back round to the front and go the other side. This is something you can do if you're sat at home over a desk or at work over a desk. You can do this twist. So inhale, lifting the arms up, length in the spine, length in the side body. Exhale into the twist. Let the hands land gently and breathe there. Inhale, really lengthening the spine. If you don't want to travel all the way round, then you do this with the hands on the thighs and turn a little. Exhale into the twist, spiraling up through the body. Another nice deep breath, exploring how this twist is for you. And then unwind, lifting again the arms. Exhale them down. And then I have I hope a lovely relaxation for you. I'm going to give you 2 options. Using the chair, of course, but maybe just have a look before you decide. So you're either going to have the high end of the chair towards you. If it's wooden or metal or uncomfortable, you might want to put something soft over it. You're coming right up against it with your hips, easing yourself down onto your back and swinging the legs up to rest on it. So it might be the heels, the ankles, the back of the legs. If you like shoulder stand or legs up the wall, then this could be for you. Otherwise, we have the chair round the other way. So the feet facing us. Again, use an extra blanket if the edge is going to be uncomfortable. And we do the same. We really snuggle right up close to the front edge of the chair. Ease ourselves down, swing the legs up and rest the calves on the chair. And if you do this, you really want the knees nestled right up to the front of the chair. So you might need to shuffle yourself forward. So you decide which of those options is going to be for you today. And if you don't like it when you get there, you always have the option of Shavasana, if you don't want to try the other option of this. The idea is that we're getting the legs up higher than the heart, and we're trying to reverse the flow of gravity, changing the effort of our circulation system. So decide where you want the hands to settle, maybe on the hips or the belly, maybe out to the side, palms face up. Have a little shuffle of shoulders and hips. Make sure you get yourself really comfortable. If you need something under your head, place a blanket or something just to lift the forehead so that the chin doesn't stick up higher. Allow the eyes to close and come inwards. Draw your attention into the body. Scan through it, investigating what sensations are there. How does it feel after this practice today? And you can spend the whole of your relaxation in this posture with the feet elevated, letting lymph flow down through the legs, clearing out toxins. But if it's uncomfortable or it's not your choice to stay here, then please move. Please take the option of Shavasana. Bend the knees, roll over carefully, and come to resting on the floor in whichever way you would like to. I'm going to take you on a guided tour of the body using the practice of Nyasa, placement of attention. So all you need to do is direct all of your focus to the parts of the body as I mention them. And it's going to send deep nourishment and relaxation to that area. We're going to start today with the right hand. So bringing your attention to the right hand, to the right thumb, the right forefinger, the right middle finger, the right ring finger, the right little finger, palm of the right hand, the back of the right hand, the wrist, the forearm, the right elbow, the right upper arm, the right shoulder, the right side of the ribs, and all down the right torso, the right hip, the right thigh, front and back, the right knee, the right shin, the right calf, the top of the right foot, the sole of the right foot, the right big toe, the right second toe, the right middle toe, the right fourth toe, the right little toe. Take your attention to the whole of the right side of your body. Notice if it feels different on the right side to the left side. And then take your attention into the left hand, the left thumb, the left forefinger, the left middle finger, the left ring finger, the left little finger, the left wrist, the left palm, the left back of the hand, the left forearm, the left elbow, the left upper arm, the left shoulder, the left side of the ribs and all down the left torso, the left hip, the left thigh, front and back, the left knee, the left shin and calf, the top of the left foot, the sole of the left foot, the left big toe, the left second toe, the left third toe, the left fourth toe, the left little toe, the whole of your left side. Notice how the left side feels compared to the right. Now take your attention up into the head, to the point behind the third eye. So in the middle of your eyebrows, this point we call the third eye, soften your attention so that it comes behind there to the center of your brain. Feel softness spreading out from that point over the crown of your head, your forehead, around your temples, your eyes in their sockets, the eyelids, the nose, the cheeks, the lips, the tongue, the root of the tongue, the jaw, the throat, the back of the neck, across your collarbone and the chest, across the back of the shoulder blades and down the back, across your abdomen, down through your pelvis. Make sure you've gone down through your arms as well to the fingertips, and carrying on down through the legs to the feet and the tips of the toes, so that the whole body feels washed through now with relaxation, and you hold the whole body in a gentle, relaxed state of awareness. The whole body, the whole body. Starting to deepen the inhale Bringing energy back into the physical body, moving fingers and toes just slightly. If the legs are resting on the chair, or if you wish to anyway, bring your knees towards the chest. Be aware of your relationship with the chair. Be careful you don't knock yourself as you rest onto one side. And when you feel ready to press the hands into the ground, ease yourself up. Just again, being aware of the legs of the chair, where it is. And when you're back up to sitting, bring the hands in front of the heart. And then we'll finish with a nice deep breath together. Inhaling, taking the arms out and up. Exhaling, bringing them down the center in front of the heart for a bow. Bowing to yourself, to this different practice today, to the challenge of experiencing yoga in maybe a different way to how you were expecting or how you have before. To each other, remembering to celebrate our difference, our unique points, and remembering that however we seem or appear on the outside, there are always more similarities than differences on the inside. Namaste.